Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome to a bookish video. So say it with me, it's bookgammon time. Yes, this is my bookgammon TBR game that I play every month to help me pick my TBR for the upcoming month. I will leave a playlist for you in the description box down below if you want to check out any of my previous videos. But I love this game, you love this game, so today we're gonna play it. So as always, let's get to some housekeeping before we start. So I do have some priority picks for May because I have not got to them in the month of April. The first one of those is Part of Your World, A Twisted Tale from Disney, written by Liz Braswell. Is this a priority pick? Not really, because part of me I know it's Ariel and Ursula, my girl, Ursula, but I'm just don't have the drive to read this. So it should be a priority pick, but it probably won't be. The next one, I might be able to get to this. There is still just less than a week left now of April, and I may still get to this if I can get the audiobook, and that is The Hound of the Baskervilles and The Valley of Fear by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I do listen to most of my classics on audio, so if I can find the audiobook for this, I will definitely try and get this read before the end of the month. So again, that might not be a priority pick. The next one, I thought this was a middle grade, and somebody told me in the comments of last month's bookgammon that this is not a middle grade. It's The Thief on the Winged Horse by Kate Mascarenas. But I did find this in the children's section at Waterstones, so that's why I put it in as a middle grade. But I did say it sounded a bit spooky for a middle grade, and apparently it's not. But this will be a priority pick if I can fit it into May's prompts. The next one that is a priority pick, I did not get to quite a few this month. Blood on Snow by Jo Nesbo. It was only a short one, and I had hoped to do a bit of a 24-hour readathon to get a couple of my short books read, but I have not done that. I might still be able to do that, so I don't know. And the last book that I have not managed to get to in the month of April, and I'm really bummed about it, of all these priority picks, this book is the one that I really want to get back onto my TBR for May, and that is Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I really want to read this. I did contemplate putting this as my star book for May, but I have another book in mind that I want to read. So yeah, this is the only book out of all of these priority picks that I really am bummed that I didn't get to. Now the next housekeeping is the Bomb Book and the Star Book tokens. So the Bomb Book is a book that I do not want to read right now. It's maybe intimidating. It's maybe a book that I know is going to be a bit of a hard slog. Maybe it's hard hitting and I've been putting it off. But all sorts of reasons why I don't want to read it or haven't wanted to read it. And the Bomb Book forces me to pick that book up. And the Star Book is a book that I do want to read. I can't wait to pick it up, and I am so excited for it. So the Star Book for May is Imposters by Scott Westerfeld. So if you do not know, Uglies by Scott Westerfeld is one of my, well, is my most favourite series of all time. So it's shocking almost that I haven't even started anything else by Scott Westerfeld. So Imposters is his his newest series. I believe the 4th book in the series has just come out. And so I really, really want to start this. It says, Frey and Raffi are inseparable, 2 edges of the same knife, but Frey's very existence is a secret. Frey is Raffi's twin sister and her body double. While Raffi was raised to be the perfect daughter, Frey has been taught to kill. Her only purpose is to protect her sister, to sacrifice herself if she must. When her father sends Frey in Raffi's place as collateral in a precarious deal, she becomes the perfect imposter. But Cole, the son of a rival leader, is getting close enough to spot the killer inside her. Can Frey trust him with the truth and risk becoming her own person? So yeah, so excited about this. And I do believe that in book 4, Tally Youngblood makes an appearance. So I'm expecting this to be in the same world as the Uglies series, and that is exciting for me. Plus also Netflix have recently finished filming Uglies, the film, with Joey King as Tally Youngblood, and it is now in post-production, edits and special effects and stuff. So God, I hope they do that film justice, because if they don't make Uglies the way I imagine it in my head, it's going to be a real sad day. So yeah, this is my star book for May. So on to the bomb book. There is no bomb book. There is no bomb book for May. And the reason is because if you have been following me for a few years, you will know that May is a difficult mental health month for me. It is something that I have struggled with, as I say, for years. May is a month where I focus on self-care. I try to simplify things for myself. I don't try to do anything too strenuous or too stressful, because I know that my mental health is going to be on a knife's edge. I won't go into details as to why, but it's just a very difficult mental health month for me. I struggle. I've put into place certain things over the last few years to try and help me get through it. And they have helped. But I am not going to be using the bomb book in May, because I don't want to be forced to read a book that I don't want to read in a month where actually my reading might be taking a bit of a hit anyway, because my mental health might not let me like relax enough to read much. So anybody remember back in November the book haul token? I'm bringing it back for 1 month only in the month of May, because if anything is going to put a smile on my face, it's going to be the ability to buy books. Books bring me joy. Books bring me so much joy and escapism from my mental health that a book haul in May would be really beneficial to me. So I'm bringing the book haul token back. So if I land on the book haul token, that means that my book allowance for the month is limitless. I can buy as many books as I want with no guilt, with no drama. I have been going over my book allowance in recent months, and I think it's because my mental health has been having a bit of a drop recently. But we'll skip over that. So yeah, in May I am going to be playing the book haul token and then the star book token for Imposters by Scott Westerfeld. And the bomb book is taking a month off. So with all of that housekeeping done, let's get to the gameplay and see what she has in store for me. Okay, so we have the star book and book haul there, and we're going to start off by placing those on the board. So here's our random number generator, and random. So that is number 9. So we're going to put the star book down first. So 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I land on this space, I'm not picking a contemporary, I'm reading the star book. And for the book haul token, space 20. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if we land on this space, we're not picking the middle grade, we're having the book haul. So just to remind ourselves again of the categories, we have red for thriller, pink for contemporary, orange for classics, green for middle grade, yellow for graphic novels and mangas, purple for non-fiction, and blue for fantasy or sci-fi. Okay, we have our prompt cards here, so let's give them a shuffle. We have our 2 dice and our shaker. So let's do our first roll. 4 and a 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a contemporary. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a middle grade. So the contemporary is artistic cover. And the middle grade is nature on the cover. Our second roll, 2 and a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to move this one 2, 1, 2. So we get a fantasy, and this one 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So either side of the star book. That is so frustrating. So a fantasy and a thriller. So the thriller prompt is second person narrative. So something that is like you this, you that. And the fantasy has less than 2022 ratings. So I'll have to have a look on Goodreads and try and find a book on my TBR that has around or less than 2022 ratings. That's going to take a while. Okay, see if we can land on that star book. Roll number 3. Oh, we're going to go past it, but we'll leave it on the board in case I have to go backwards at some point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the white squares, we have to read an ebook, any ebook. So that's normally a Kindle Unlimited book. And then 4 for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, so a classic. So we're just going to read the classic prompt for this one. And the prompt for classic is I'd love to see the live show. So a lot of classics have a musical adaptation. So which one would I like to see live? Ooh, this one is quite close to a book haul, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4 to get a book haul. Yes! We got 5 and a 4. Yay! So I'm going to move this one 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We landed on it. I get to do a book haul in May with no guilt, which means 0 book allowance, well, unlimited book allowance, not a 0 book allowance, unlimited book allowance. I am so happy. This brings me so much joy. There's a couple of books, box sets that I have been particularly interested in picking up, and this is going to be amazing. I'm going to feel no guilt at all about buying all those books. So yay! And this one has to move 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is a fantasy. So just the fantasy prompt. And that's an easy one, a hardback. Ooh, I know which one I can put in for that. Haha. So now we remove the star book off because I've won the book haul token. still read Imposters, you never know. Roll number 5. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a double then. So we have 2 and a 1. I'm going to move this one 2 for another fantasy, 1, 2, and this one 1 for a contemporary. So the contemporary prompt is one of my Mills and Boon. Great, because I need to get them read. And the fantasy is a sci-fi. So I have to read one of my sci-fi. Imposters. Imposters is a sci-fi. I'm sure it's classed as sci-fi. I will have to check. Can I do that? Can I? Ooh, exciting, exciting. Roll number 6. This one is nearly home. Ooh, I'm going to take this one home. So 1, 2. Oh no, it doesn't go home. It lands on graphic novel. There's maths, Nicola. And this one 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought this was home. So we have a graphic novel or manga and another fantasy. So the graphic novel or manga is a Japanese setting. That's awesome because a lot of manga is a Japanese setting. And the fantasy is a Kindle pick. So I guess that means we're reading another ebook. So yay! Could this be our final roll? Roll number 7. Yes, we are home. So 1, 2, 3 and 1. So that is it. That is the game of Bookgammon for the month of May. It seems a pretty easy one, so I'm very, very happy with that. So that was gameplay. Wasn't that interesting? She was really nice to me for May. She's been a bit mean to me for a couple of months now. And I think Bookgammon knew that May is a difficult month for me, so she thought she would be nice. I'm grateful for that. I really am. I knew she liked me. So let's get into the book choices for the month of May. So our first prompt was a contemporary, and the prompt for that was an artistic cover. So for that one, I've decided to read When We Collided by Emery Lord. I think that's very artistic, all those paint splotches and things like that. 17-year-old Jonah Daniels has lived in Verona Cove, California his whole life, and only one thing has changed. His father used to be alive, and now he's not. Reeling from the tragedy, Jonah must take care of his family. Enter Vivi Alexander, the new girl in town. Vivi is in love with life, a gorgeous, unfiltered hurricane of thoughts and feelings. She transforms Jonah's family and changes his life. But there are always consequences when worlds collide. So we have a male main character in this one, which is quite unfamiliar for me. A lot of the contemporaries I've read have been female main characters, so this is going to be an interesting read. I have seen this around a lot as a book that a lot of people have loved. So it says, can you fall in love when you're falling apart? So I hope it's not too much of a tearjerker, because in May a tearjerker is not what I need. But yeah, we're going to be reading this one for that prompt. Our second prompt for roll number 1 was a middle grade, and that was Nature on Cover. And now, look, I know I said in the intro this was not a middle grade, but I've put it on because it was a priority pick. So it's got nature on the cover, and I thought it was a middle grade. It was sold in the middle grade section at Waterstones. So I'm fully aware it's not a middle grade, but I had it down as a middle grade, so I'm going to read it. The Thief on the Winged Horse by Kate Mascanaras. Mascarenas? Yeah, Mascarenas, I think. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this. It's got nature on the cover. There's a big tree on the cover. So yeah, I'm going to read this. This is about the Kendricks have been making world famous dolls for over 200 years. but their dolls aren't coveted for the craftsmanship alone. Each has an emotion laid on it, a magic that can provoke bucolic bliss or consuming paranoia at a single touch. So yeah, and stuff happened, I suppose. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this one. Fully aware it's not a middle grade, but it was a priority pick, so it fit the prompt, so I'm going to read it. My game, my rules. For role number 2, we had a fantasy, and for that one we had to pick a book that has less than 2,022 ratings on Goodreads. Boy, was this hard to do. Because a lot of the books that I was thinking of are obviously quite popular books and they have thousands of reviews. So I had to think, what is not popular? What has not been talked about at all? And I've got to say that although I got this in a fairy loot box, I have not heard a single person read this book. And in fact, I've watched a couple of people unhauling books, and this has always been on the unhaul list. Nobody who received this in a fairy loot book box has ever said, wow, this is really interesting, I'm very excited to read this. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to find out what it's all about. It's called 8 Will Fall by Sarah Harian. And it looks kind of sci-fi-ish. 17-year-old Larkin is an empath born with the ability to sense the emotions of others and siphon them to either conjure or destroy. But magic is illegal in Demura, so most of her life, Larkin's powers have been repressed by Queen Melee's harsh edicts and the stifling presence of luminite metal. However, Demura falls prey to an ancient evil lurking below the surface, and Queen Melee calls on Larkin and 7 other outlaws to save the kingdom. Descending into an underground realm full of unspeakable horrors, Larkin and her party must use their forbidden magic to survive what lies in wait, with teeth sharp and talons deadly. Wow! The 8 of them were chosen for a reason. So we have 8 characters in here that I hope I can fall in love with and really get to enjoy this story. It sounds interesting. Let's hope that it is. The second prompt for role number 2 was a thriller, and that was second person narrative, as in the story is told in a you kind of way. It's a long time since I've been at school. I had to look up what second person narrative was. To be honest, I got this prompt off Google. I was searching reading prompts, and I came up with lots of images of people doing readathon prompts and things like that, and I got this off there. I have scoured every single thriller on my TBR. Not a single one of them is in second person narrative. They're all in first person. I, me, myself. So I'm going to have to remove that prompt. So what I did was, instead of trying to find an ebook or an audio book with it, which is what I would normally do, I'm going to go back to my priority picks. This is a thriller that was on my priority pick, so it's not in second person narrative. I don't think it is. It's in I, so I'm just going to read this one. It was a priority pick, so it should be read. So I think that's what I'm going to do. If I can't fulfill the prompt, then I pick one of my priority picks. It makes it easier than me trying to find something which I might not enjoy. I read You by, is it Caroline Kepnes? Did not enjoy that. So I'm just going to read this. So Blood on Snow, Olav lives the life. I'll start that again. I can read, honest. I haven't got my glasses on. Olav lives the lonely life of a fixer. When you fix people for a living, terminally, it's hard to get close to anyone. Now he's finally met the woman of his dreams, but there are 2 problems. She's his boss's wife, and Olav's just been hired to kill her. Great. Sounds wonderful. Okay. On to roll number 3. Our first prompt was to read an ebook, and I did forget to mention in my priority picks that I was meant to read the ebook of The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. That was the second month it was on my TBR, and I still haven't gotten to it. I really struggle to remember to read my ebooks. So for a third and final month, because this is going to be the first book I pick up in May, I'm going to make this top priority. First book I read. For the third and final time, I'm putting The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen onto my TBR. So there it is in all its glory. Oh, there's a map and everything. Let's get back to that front screen. I'm going to be reading that for the ebook prompt, and then for the second prompt, it was a classic, a book that I would love to see the live show of. When I put that prompt on the card, I knew exactly which one I was meaning. Now I'm kind of regretting it, because the show I would really love to see is Les Miserables. I think I said that right. My French is not good. I got a C in French. Not great. I'm not, no. And come on, school was 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago. God, how long ago was school? 26 years ago? 26 years ago. I've lived a lifetime. My daughter is now an adult, and I had her when I was 20, so yeah. So I'm going to be reading, luckily it's divided up into 2 volumes. I'm just going to read volume 1. But I'm going to read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I'm going to try and find the audiobook. No! I've just seen how tiny the writing is. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see that? I'm definitely going to try and find the audiobook for this, because there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to read that. So yeah, we're going to be attempting. I am going to say attempting, because this is everyone knows what Les Mis is about, don't they? One of the great classics of Western literature, magisterial work which is rich in both character portrayal and meticulous historical description. Characters such as the absurdly criminalised Valjean, the street urchin Gavroche, the rascal Thénardier, the implacable detective Javert, and the pitiful figure of the prostitute Fantine and her daughter Cosette have entered the pantheon of literary dramatis personae. The reader is also treated to the unforgettable descriptions of the Battle of Waterloo and Valjean's flight through the Paris sewers. Lovely. So I'm going to be reading that. Okay, on to roll 4. We got the book haul token. So I get to buy as many books as I want. I'm really happy with that, actually, because I have felt so much guilt over the last couple of months because I have gone over my book allowances, and to say that in May I can buy as many books as I want with no guilt attached is going to be a real comfort for me, because I'm going to want to buy books to cheer myself up. It is what it is. We do what we have to do to make ourselves feel better. And I've got to say that when I originally put this into Bookgammon, it was for my birthday month in November last year. And I bought 1 book in November last year because I was too busy saving up for Christmas, and I had my foot accident, my ankle injury, which meant that I couldn't go out shopping. So browsing the bookshops and things like that, I couldn't do it. So last time I won the book haul, I didn't get to utilise it as much as I wanted to. So the chance that I've got it again now is a real great comfort to me, because this time I'm probably going to make good use of it. So the book haul token was 1. But then our second prompt for roll number 4 was a fantasy, a hardback. And for this, again, I'm going back to my priority picks. I did say in the intro that this was the book that I was most gutted at not getting to in April, and that is Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I really want to read this. I really do. I want to find out if it is a mermaid book or if it isn't, but whatever. It's about monsters, and I really like this idea of monsters being the main characters, and realizing that actually monster is our opinion of someone, not who someone actually is, because what we think of as a monster, they're you know, they might not be. It's just our opinion of them. And I like that. I like that a lot. It says, don't forget the rule. No one can know what we are, what you are. You must never tell anyone about monsters. So yeah, I'm very looking forward to this one. For roll number 5, our first prompt was a sci-fi, and I did look it up on Goodreads. Imposters is a sci-fi, and you know what? It's May. It's a difficult month for me. I want to read books that I want to read, that I'm going to love, that I'm going to enjoy. This is set, I looked on Goodreads, this is set in the same world as the Uglies series, just many years later after the events of Uglies. I think it's a decade, somebody mentioned in their review, so I'm going to read it. It was my star book. I didn't land on the star book token, but it fulfills the prompt, so I'm going to read it. Again, my game, my rules. I really want to read it, and I'm so excited for this, and it's May, so I'm being kind to myself. Normally, I wouldn't put my star book into the TBR if I don't land on it, but for May, I'm doing it because I need to fill my TBR with books that I want to read, that I'm happy to read, that I'm excited to read, because I want to be kind to myself. That's the whole point of May. And then the second prompt for roll number 5 was a contemporary, and that was a Mills and Boon book. So I have been watching the new series, season 6 of Outlander, so I'm really in that Scottish Highlander kind of mood, even though they've moved on from Scotland now. So I want to read this one. This is a Mills and Boon historical, and it is Stolen by the Highlander by Terry Brisbane. So it looks like that. It was a pound. So yeah, kidnap in the Highlands. The morn of her wedding, Arabella Cameron is filled with dread. But if marrying a man she doesn't love will end the feud between the Cameron and the Mackintosh clans, she will do her duty. That is until outlaw Brodie Mackintosh arrives in her bedchamber and steals her away to the mountains. I'm loving it already. Brodie knows Arabella has every reason to hate him, but a forbidden kiss soon makes these sworn enemies question everything. And when Arabella's intended reclaims her, Brodie must fight with all his strength to make her his once more. Woo! Not gonna lie, kind of excited about that one. So yeah, he's not that bad looking either. Nice model. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading that one. And our final roll number 6, the first prompt was a graphic novel or manga, and the prompt was Japanese setting. So of course I'm going to move on to the next Assassination Classroom. I've been reading this series pretty much one a month recently. I've been able to get at least one a month into my TBR somehow, some way. So this is Assassination Classroom number 6, story and art by Yusei Matsui. Again, language is not my strong point. So yeah, this is set in Japan, and there is an alien threatening to blow up the world if Class 3E cannot assassinate him in time. And yeah, I've really been enjoying them. They've been like a 3-star sort of series for me so far. Nothing that exciting or that dreading or, you know, edge of my seat kind of story like. But maybe as the further we go along, we might get some of that. So yeah. Ooh. Ever caught yourself screaming, "I could just kill that teacher"? Yes, yes, a few times I thought I could. So yeah, I'm going to be reading that one. And then the last prompt for roll number 6, the second prompt, was another fantasy, and that was Kindle pick. So let's go back to my Kindle. Well, it's not Kindle, it's an Amazon Fire, but I can get Kindle books on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll down until I find the first Kindle Unlimited book that I have not read that's already in my library. And I've hit it already. It is Dangerous Remedy. There's the first in a dazzling commercial historical adventure series set in the extravagant and deadly world of the French Revolution. A whirlwind of action, science and magic reveals, with a diverse cast of fearless heroines, a band of rebels like no other. Oh, very good. So let's see if I can get you the front cover, because it's really pretty. So that is the front cover. I remember reading the synopsis of this over a year ago, I'm sure, and I was like, I definitely want to buy that book, and I had it on my to buy list, and then I found the Kindle Unlimited book, and I've had it on here ever since. So it's written by Kat Dunn, and the tagline is, "We cheat death as the blade falls." So it looks like there's a guillotine there, so really interesting. Very, very interesting. So yeah, I'm going to read that one. So that is my TBR for Bookgammon. I will obviously have whatever book club pick is for my Waterstones book club, which I believe is The Shadow Glass. So it's The Shadow Glass by Josh Winning. So there is a picture of the front cover. So we have like a fox on the front cover, and I believe it says a thrilling race against the clock to save the world from fantasy creatures from a cult 80s film. Perfect for fans of Henson Company puppet classics like Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal and The Neverending Story. I do like The Neverending Story. I have watched The Labyrinth, but I wasn't massively taken with it. And The Dark Crystal is again something that I remember watching, but not something that I remember being, oh wow, I love that. But The Neverending Story, yes, definitely. So that is my Waterstones book club read. And then my good friend Charlotte and I are moving on to the next book in the Graceling series, which is Winterkeep by Kristen Cashore. So that is the cover. And this is the 4th book in the Graceling Realm series by Kristen Cashore. And yeah, we're currently reading Bitter Blue this week, last week of April. And we've been really enjoying the series so far. I can see all the threads starting to pull in now in the 3rd book. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the series, and I am happy to continue with Winterkeep. I don't know if it's the last book in the series. It looks like there might be another one after Winterkeep. So I don't know how long the series is for or when the next books are coming out. My phone just won't load. Internet up here is pants. So anyway, that is it. Winterkeep by Kristen Cashore and The Shadow Glass by Josh Wining. Yeah, the Graceling 5 book. Oh, it's coming out this year. So Sea Sparrow is the 5th book, and apparently it's coming out in November this year. So that's good. So yeah, Winterkeep by Kristen Cashore and The Shattered Glass by Josh Winning are the two extra books on top of my Bookgammon TBR. So yay, that is my TBR for May. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Goodreads books. Goodreads. There are going to be 11 books on my Bookgammon TBR and then 2 others that are from book clubs or buddy reads. So that is it. That is my May Bookgammon TBR video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!